All right, so I'm going to show you a really useful tool next. It's called Bridge. So let's say I want to connect these edges from this polygonal object to the edges along the bottom here. So essentially I want to connect these two objects together so that there's this gap that you see here doesn't exist. So there's faces here. So the first thing I need to do when I'm using Bridge is to combine my two objects, or my objects here. So I'm going to select both of these, and I'm going to go to Mesh Combine. So they need to be the same object. Next, I need to make openings, holes. So I'm going to select the face that's here that I want to bridge around, and which I can't seem to do here. Cut that. And then I can't delete it. I can't press just the delete key because it will delete my movie that I'm making. So I'm going to cut these. It doesn't matter. I just want to get rid of them, really. Delete them is fine. So I'm going to delete all of these faces at the bottom here as well. There we go. All right, so I've deleted the faces at the bottom. I've deleted the faces in the middle top here. I can only bridge open areas. So like I can't bridge a polygon that is connected on all sides. So it has to be a hole like this or a hole like that. So now I have to have the same number of edges on both of these open spaces, on both of these open holes. So I have to make sure that however many edges I have here, I have here. If I have one more, this bridge won't work, or one less. So I'm going to select the edge, and I'm just going to double click to select them all very quickly. I'm going to hold the shift key down here. I'm going to double click and select all of that very quickly. So now I have the edges around the holes selected. I can go to Mesh, Edit Mesh, Bridge, Options. And I have a couple different options on how to bridge. I can do a linear path, which will just give me a straight attachment. And I can have more divisions if I needed to with that linear. I can have more divisions here. I could taper or twist. Can't really taper that much because it's too linear, but I can twist. As you can see here, I can reverse directions on these. Don't really do much. I can offset the bridge. I can change this. So if I make a blend, let's offset to 0, taper to 0, and twist to 0. Put these back to where they were. There, taper. So if I do a blend, right, that's linear. That's linear. If I do a blend, then if I begin to taper, you can see that I have a more interesting shape than if I'm just on linear. Right, I could do this taper. So that's the same thing as choosing this smooth on the linear path. This is smooth path. It's the same thing if I change this curve type to blend. And the bridge offset just twists a little bit in this case. Much the same. My fourth type is curve, in which case I actually get a curve. It's kind of hard to see, so I'll have to move these. I select my bridge, if I have a curve, it will create a curve here. Let me get rid of my bridge. Do this all the way back. I'm just undoing, Control Z. There we go. So now I'm going to choose, when I do my bridge, I'm going to choose smooth path and curve. So what does this do? Well, let me do a little bit of divisions here. And then if I go to 4, you'll see that I have a curve in the middle here. There. With control vertices. It's kind of hard to see because it's right in the middle. I had to press the number 4 to get into the wireframe mode. But this does this. Let's see if I select one of these. I can kind of make my path a little bit more interesting based on the curve. And then of course if I go back to my bridge, here in the attributes I can taper a little bit. You can see that I have a curve. It's not, I could add more divisions here and make this less divisions to kind of make it a little more visible. There's the bridge. So a couple different choices here. Bridge is a very cool tool, very useful to connect one thing to another and get kind of these very interesting shapes.